Yeah, in this video, I'm going to cover as a full stack tester, what are all the topics we need to be ready. Okay, we need to focus on what are all the topics in terms of manual testing and in terms of automation testing and in terms of API testing and in terms of mobile testing. All the things I'm going to cover in this video. Okay, so as part of manual testing, first we need to go through the core concepts of manual testing. That is, what is SDLC, that is software development lifecycle, and what is HDLC. Then what about Agile and Scrum roles, ceremonies, artifacts. Then what is the difference between waterfall and Agile methodologies, and what is the difference between verification and validation. These are all frequently asked questions in interviews. Okay, then coming to the design techniques, these are all the things we need to cover. Equivalence partitioning, boundary value analysis, decision table, state transition, use case testing. Then types of testing also we need to cover. Sometimes the interviewer may ask questions related to this type of testing. Okay, smoke testing, sanity testing. When we receive the build from the developer, we start with smoke, and at the final stage, we are going to cover the sanity testing. The interviewer may ask questions like, what is the difference between smoke and sanity testing? Okay, smoke testing is nothing but we are going to check the stability of the application while receiving the build from the developer. This is initial phase of testing. Sanity testing is nothing but it is the final phase of testing. That is, it is nothing but a health checkup kind of thing. Okay, so while deploying the build, at the time we are going to do one round of testing that is known as sanity testing. We are just going to focus on the important functionalities of the application. Okay, then regression testing. This testing we are going to do when the build is stable enough. Okay, so we are going to start our automation thing while we are getting the build in stable condition. So that is nothing but regression testing. Okay, so regression is nothing but we are just developing a bug. Okay, while test execution process, while executing our test cases, we are going to come up with a lot of bugs, right? So after fixing the bugs, developer is going to fix the bug one by one. So after fixing the bug, whether the existing application, that is existing functionality, is going to affect or not, that kind of testing we are going to do, right? For example, in WhatsApp application, if I am going to raise a bug in video call functionality, and developer is going to fix the bug for video call functionality. Okay, we cannot test the video functionality only after fixing the bug. It is not our role to test and focus only on video call functionality. We need to start from the voice call, chat option, and installation process, everything. So why means whether this bug affecting the other functionalities or not, that also we need to check, right? So that is nothing but regression testing. Okay, it is also a frequently asked questions during interview time. Okay, next one is functional and non-functional testing. For non-functional is nothing but we are going to test the stress. Then we are going to test at the same time whether 100 users can access the application or not. Like this, we are going to do one kind of testing, and how much time it takes to load the particular application. Those things that comes under non-functional testing. Okay, so here we are going to use one tool called JMeter, which is nothing but we are going to measure the performance, okay, of the application. That is nothing but performance testing. Okay, then in functional, we are going to use in Java means Selenium, and for mobile testing, we are going to use APM, like that. Okay, And then exploratory testing. Sometimes already they have their own application and they are just going to enhance the application. Okay. So in that case, what we are going to do means we are going to just explore the application. Okay. Already they have their own application. Just we are just going to explore it. So that kind of testing is nothing but exploratory testing. Then ad hoc testing is nothing but informal way of testing. We don't have any test cases, test scenarios like that. Randomly, we are going to do some kind of testing. That is nothing but ad hoc testing. Then compatibility testing. We are going to do the testing in different phases like this. Okay. Next, we have levels also. That is unit testing, integration testing, system testing, and user acceptance testing. Okay. Unit testing done by developers, and they are going to test module by module. That is unit wise. They are going to do the testing. That is nothing but unit testing. Then integration is nothing but we are going to test whether all the modules are get integrated or not, like voice call and video call and chat option all are integrated, right? So we need to test whether it is properly integrated or not. Then system testing is nothing but end-to-end testing. We need to do the testing from all functionalities, like from starting from chat option to final functionality. For example, in Amazon application, from search functionality to order confirmation page. So we need to do end-to-end testing. That is nothing but system testing. Here we have many types of testing. Here only functional and non-functional testing comes into picture, and we have several types of testing. So according to the application, we are going to select the testing types. Okay. Then user acceptance testing. So we have the application ready, but the client side, they need to accept it. Okay. So that kind of testing is nothing but user acceptance testing. Next, test artifacts. Yeah, we are going to plan our testing, how we are going to implement, what are all the sources we have, and how many extra sources we need, and what are all the environments we have, how much time we require to complete our testing. Everything we are going to plan in the beginning itself. Okay, this is nothing but test planning. Then test a scenario. Scenario is nothing but what I am going to test. For example, in Amazon application, I'm going to test the search functionality, product list page functionality. Okay, that is nothing but test a scenario. Test case is nothing but how I am going to execute the test. Okay, this is nothing but test case, step by step. How I am going to execute it. That is nothing but test case. Then requirement traceability matrix is nothing but what I need to cover. Okay. That is acceptance criteria we have in user story. So that is nothing but requirement traceability matrix. Whether I have covered all the requirement that is mentioned in the user story or not. That thing is nothing but requirement traceability matrix. Then next, we need to cover defect management. That is, in defect management, we need to cover bug life cycle. That is, from I'm going to create a new bug, right? New bug I have created, and I'm going to assign it to the particular developer, and developer going to decide whether he wants to fix it now or in later period. So that bug is known as deferred bug. Then whether it is bug or not, and whether it is duplicate bug or not, everything he is going to decide. Okay. Then after he is going to fix the bug, we are going to retest it, and whether it is fixed, we are going to close it. Otherwise, we need to reopen it and assign it back to the concerned developer. This is nothing but bug life cycle. Then severity and priority. Severity means how severe this functionality is going to affect the application. For example, in Amazon website, search functionality itself is not working, means there is no use to test the other functionality, right? So that is nothing but high severity one. Okay. Next, priority is nothing but how soon the bug needs to be fixed. That is nothing but priority. Okay. Next one is defect template. Then how to write a good bug, when to reject or reopen bugs. So everything comes under defect management. So they are going to keep track of all our bugs. Okay. Then next one is interview focused questions like how do you test a login page or ATM or elevator or WhatsApp? They are going to give some use case like just give me some random test cases for these like that they will ask. Okay. Then if the requirements are unclear, what you are going to do? Okay. Then in that case, what are all the steps measures you are going to take like that. Then how do you decide test coverage? Okay. Testing, regarding testing depends upon the application and when to start, when to stop, everything we need to know. Okay. So these of questions they may ask. Then in automation testing, first we need to cover the basics of Java. Either it is Java or it is Python. We need to cover all these things. That is variables, loops, conditions. Okay. Then OOPS means inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, encapsulation, collections means list, set, map, and exception handling. These are all the basics things we know about either it is Java or Python. Then in Selenium concepts, we need to aware of these things like WebDriver architecture, locators, ID, name, XPath, CSS, dynamic XPath, how to handle dynamic XPath, and alerts, frames, windows, drop downs, and weights. In weights, we have implicit, explicit weight, everything we need to cover. Okay. Then in test frameworks, we have and in test frameworks, next thing is um, after covering the Selenium part, we have uh, Access class, JavaScript executor, and then screenshots and file upload and download thing. Everything we need to know. Okay. Next one is framework knowledge. So in terms of framework, first they will come up with this question: what is page object model? Explain about your last project page object model. Like that, they will come up with certain questions. Okay. Then page factory, what is the difference between page factory and page object model? Then data driven, what type of framework we have used in your last project, like data driven testing framework or keyword driven testing framework or hybrid framework, everything they will ask. Then Maven, TestNG or JUnit, Cucumber, extend reports, config properties, everything they will ask. Okay, we need to cover all these things. Then test framework. What are all the frameworks you have used? Okay, TestNG or JUnit or Python means PyTest like that. And there you need to cover annotations, assertions, then parallel execution, everything you need to cover. Okay. These are all some important area you need to cover, you need to focus on so that you can clear the interview. Then next part is CI/CD basics. So you need to know about Maven, then Git commands, then Jenkins. So nowadays they are focusing much on GitHub Actions instead of Jenkins. So you need to know all the stuff. Okay. Then in API testing, we need to know what is API and difference between REST and SOAP API. Then HTTP methods. These are all the methods you are going to use in your project. Then status code, mostly we are going to focus on 200, 400, 404, sometimes 500 like that. And testing tools like Postman or Insomnia. And in network tab, you are going to validate the CUI. Then in logs, Splunk tool, we are going to focus on. Okay, these things you might know. Then authorization thing, basic auth, bearer auth, or OAuth, what authorization token you are going to use, access token also there, okay? So what token you are going to use, and in Insomnia tool or Postman tool, you have to enter headers, parameters and body. Post method means you need to give the response body. Okay, according to the request, we are going to get the response, right? So while request, well, the request method is post means we need to give the body request body also. Then we are going to validate the JSON thing. Then API test scenarios will be positive cases, negative cases, edge cases, schema validation, and response time validation. The automation thing you need to cover is REST assured. Okay. Then performance testing thing. So in performance testing, you are having a tool called JMeter tool. Why they are going to use JMeter means this is open source tool. Okay. Then here we need to cover these concepts: thread group, samplers, listeners, timers, controllers, assertions. Then performance types or load testing, stress testing, spike testing, endurance testing, metrics, response time. These knowledge you need to have. These are all the basic knowledge you must have. Okay. Then in database and backend part, you need to know SQL basics like select, where clause, then joins and group by. These things you must have knowledge. Okay, they will ask few questions related to this. Okay, then log analysis, we have Splunk basics. Splunk logs, so you need to know basics of this Splunk tool. Then backend logs you need to check. Then validating database entries, everything you need to know. Okay. Then agile and real project questions, they are going to concentrate on what do you do when dev says works in my system, then no acceptance criteria, tight deadlines, products and bugs. So these are all the areas you need to concentrate upon. Okay. These are all the real project questions the interviewer might ask. Then behavioral and situational questions would be in this part. Explain a challenging bug you found and how do you handle pressure, why testing, then why should we hire you, how do you keep yourself updated. So these are all the frequently asked questions. Okay. Then in resume and project preparation, you must be able to explain your automation framework. You have to thorough about this part because this is the basic. If you cannot explain your automation framework, then definitely interviewer might think like you have no proper experience like that. Okay, then one API project, then one performance test that you have done in your previous project, then own real defect story, then your GitHub projects, if you have a GitHub account, and if you have any projects, you can show up in front of the interviewer so that they can get impressed about it. Okay, so it will boost your interview clearing thing. Okay. Then, in terms of mobile automation thing, we need to cover these things. Difference between iOS and Android, and the testing types like functional, UI, compatibility, network testing, interrupt testing, the real device versus emulator and simulator thing, where you are going to use emulator, where you are going to use simulator. Like emulator means we are going to use Android Studio, and for simulator, we are going to use Xcode. Okay, these things we might expect in terms of mobile automation thing. Then mobile automation tools mostly they are using is APM. Okay. Then the core concepts in APM is nothing but you need to know what is the shared capabilities and APM inspector, how what are all the procedure, how you are going to locate the element. So with the help of this APM inspector, you are going to locate the element, right? So you need to explain all the stuff. Then what is the difference between native, hybrid, and web apps? And accessibility ID in locators, we have these many things, right? Accessibility ID, export, and resource ID. In accessibility ID means we can use it for both Android and iOS. So these things you need to be thorough with. Okay. Then handling things is just as that is tab, swipe, scroll, keyboard permissions. So for this you need to know knowledge about how you are going to write these scripts and everything. Okay. Then framework is nothing but a Java plus APM, then TestNG, then POM for mobile, parallel execution, real device execution, everything you need to know. And Wiser is used to showcase your real device thing, right? So that also you need to know. So these are all the things you want to thorough with. Uh, okay, and as a full stack tester, you need to know and you need to have strong understanding of all these topics. Okay, so in my YouTube channel I am going to cover all the stuff one by one. Okay, so this is the syllabus I am going to cover in my YouTube channel. Okay, that's all about this video, and thank you for watching this video. Bye.